All right, family. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how to make it in trucking. And just for the sake of context, when I say make it in trucking, what I'm actually talking about is just getting to the point that you're enjoying your transportation journey. You're enjoying your trucking career. You're able to make money. You're pretty confident in your ability to be able to make enough money to be able to keep your truck running, to be able to pay your bills, to be able to save money for the future so that you can see some light at the end of the tunnel. That is, for the sake of this video, how I'm going to define making it in trucking. And as simple as it may sound, like everybody that comes in trucking doesn't make it. So in this video, I'm gonna share 14 tips with you guys, pretty much all that I know about how to make it in trucking. Now, I believe that principles are universal, and it doesn't matter whether you're driving a truck or you're running a Uber or you own a local restaurant, or, it doesn't matter what you do. I feel like if you plant good seeds, then you'll get good soil. You'll get a good harvest. If you do things the right way, if you put out the right type of energy, then the right energy is bound to come back to you. And so, like, nothing in trucking is new. A lot of us here on YouTube want to try to present the information that we're presenting like it's new, but like there's nothing new in trucking. Trucking been around for years. It ain't going nowhere. And the ways that you make it in trucking and make money in trucking and do well in trucking over a continued period, a consistent period of time, over 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, however long you're gonna be out here. Those things that have to be done to be able to accomplish that, they're not difficult to be able to figure out. Okay, so again, there's nothing new going on out here in trucking. Okay, it's simple things that we all need to be focusing on in order to ensure that we make it while we're out here in the transportation industry. So I got 14 tips for you guys. Let's get right into it. The first one is really pretty simple. It starts with making money. Obviously, to make it in trucking, you need to be making money. There's a lot of people that come in trucking that don't make it, that never really get that piece down of how to make the money. Even though it's simple, again, just because it's simple doesn't mean that it is easy. Okay, so when I'm talking about making money, what I'm really talking about, it's a couple of things you got to think about. But like, I got a friend that has recently just started his own box truck. He got his own box truck, got his truck paid for, and right now he has his own authority and all of that. But he's at the stage right now where he is essentially establishing himself. And so the more consistent that he is, the more consistently he keeps showing up, the more consistently he keeps delivering freight from point A to point B on time and, in the way that it's supposed to be done, then the more money is gonna work its way into his pockets, obviously, over time. But right now, when he's just starting out, the main thing is just to be able to ensure that he's able to make enough money, bring enough money in on a consistent basis, on a weekly basis, bi-weekly basis, monthly basis, to be able to pay his bills, save money for the future, because that's the real reason why you're out here, right? So the first tip as far as how to make it in trucking is the simplest one. All revolves around, making money. You gotta be making money. You need to have a good work ethic when it comes to establishing yourself as a brand new truck driver or a brand new owner operator, and just getting started. You're gonna have to work your way through the learning curve of just getting the money right, just getting the work right, getting the consistency right, so that you can keep the money coming in. So the first tip is the simplest tip, and it deals with making money. Okay, the next tip is you got to find a way to hold on to the money that you're gonna make. This is another thing that, I know you probably heard this before. And again, trucking is simple. There's nothing new about trucking. There's nothing new about how people make it in trucking. People succeed in this profession by first making money, and then next they figure out a way to hold on to the money that they're making, which means a couple of things. One, that means that you're gonna have to get good. You're gonna have to get proficient at budgeting your money. So many times in my life, I've gotten myself to the point that I'm making money, but then, at the end of the year, at the end of, 2 years or whatever, I find myself, it's like, where did all the money go? Have you ever had that feeling before, or had that come through your mind before? Like, you've been making money, and then you'll look at an income statement and you're like, where the hell did all this money go? If you've been through that before, the reason that people go through that, and I can say this from firsthand experience, is because we don't budget. You see, but when you're budgeting, you know where your money goes. That's all a budget is. It allows you to be able to know where your money goes. And so if you're constantly feeling like you don't know where your money goes, which I know this applies to somebody watching this video, but if you're constantly feeling like you don't know where all your money goes, then it's imperative that you find a way to get on a budget. The reason you feel that way is proof that you are not on a budget, because a budget allows you to be able to know where your money is going. So you don't want to complicate it or spend too much time on this point, but you got to get good at budgeting so that you can know where your money is going. And you can't do that. You can't hold on to your money if you're not paying attention to where your money is going. Okay. So as you hold on to your money, and as the result of proper budgeting, that should allow you to be able to see some surplus dollars. And with those surplus dollars, you're going to do stuff like you're going to pay off your debts. Paying off your debts is going to allow you to be able to keep more money when you get paid. I think I heard Dave Ramsey say one time that, in his opinion, one of the most powerful tools that most people never really get control over in their entire lifetime is their income. Most of us, a lot of us, are not in control of our income, which means when our money comes in, it goes out uncontrollably, essentially. All right. So you want to get good at budgeting, and you want to start paying off some of your debts so that you can put yourself in a position to be in control of your income, of your money when it comes in. And then another thing, as far as holding on to your money, is you want to try to avoid making simple mistakes, making stupid mistakes. Everything out here in trucking, everything out here in this world, okay, what kind of business you in, everything costs money. Everything is expensive. Even if it was free to you, it's costing somebody. Even if you're just a company driver, and everything that you do is on the company's dime, that doesn't take away from the fact that everything that goes on behind that wheel and dealing with that truck is super duper expensive. Why am I bringing that up? That means that the mistakes that you make are going to cost somebody, and eventually they're probably going to come back to cost you. So simple mistakes, if you're working for yourself as an owner operator, or if you're driving for someone else, you want to take your time while you're out here driving your truck, getting started in your trucking career as an owner or a driver, because every mistake that you make out here on the road is costly. So just make sure you take your time, make sure you double check and triple check everything. That's going to allow you to be able to keep more of the money in your pocket that you're going to make. Now, the next tip, as far as how to make it in trucking, because I'm going to try not to spend too much time on any of these 14 tips, because that's going to make the video too long. But the next tip that I got jotted down right here deals with keeping your credit good. And this is all simple stuff, family, if you ain't figured it out already. But if everybody was doing it, I trust and believe everybody would be making it in trucking. All right. But this next tip deals with keeping your credit good, and this is important because, like, your cash that you're going to accumulate, cash in a certain sense, like, to me, cash is what I have. Cash represents what I have. This is what I can get with the cash that I have. So if I got $10,000, that means I can either have the $10,000 or I can have $10,000 worth of something else. So if I got $10,000 and my truck breakdown, it costs $10,000 to fix, then I can afford to get my truck fixed. So cash represents what I have. I have a way to do whatever it is, the amount of money that I have. But credit is a way to get access to what you don't have. So cash represents what you have. Credit represents a way to get what you don't have, which is really important because you never know when you're going to need access to something that you don't have in trucking. Okay. So, like, paying off your debts and paying off your bills, this is one of those things that's going to allow you to be able to keep your credit good. And when I speak about good credit, I'm not just talking about your credit score or your credit profile. I'm also talking about your credibility. Okay. And I don't know if this is going to apply so much to OTR drivers. I would assume it does. I'm a local driver, okay? So like everybody knows everybody in the local scene. It may be the same way with OTR. I know when my dad used to drive out to California back in the days, he still used to stop at the same truck stops and the same stop-offs. And he used to stop at the same places whenever he went out there. So, I said this may not be applicable to OTR drivers because typically, sometimes OTR drivers are never seeing the same thing twice, but some OTR drivers do stop at the same places over and over and over again. And so if that's you, this is applicable to you because, keeping your credibility is important. There's a lot of things that may not require your credit or your credit score, but it may require your good name. It may require the next man to say something good about you. A lot of people out here in the trucking industry want to help you and they're willing to work with you, but not if you're not known as an individual that's going to do what they're supposed to do. So above and beyond keeping your credit score good and paying your bills like your credit cards and all of that stuff on time so that it shows up good on your credit report so you can have an 800 credit score, but you have to be a credible individual. You got to be somebody that other people trust is going to do what you say you're going to do. That matters in the local scene. I would assume employers, trucking companies, all these people know each other and like your reputation precedes you. Okay. So I know people right now that have issues with their truck and can't go to the big mechanic in town. Can't go to the major tire shop, not the major tire shop, but the tire shop that's here in town because they burned the bridge, right? Because they didn't do business good with people. So I guess that's another way of saying what I'm saying. Do good business with people, all right? Like a handshake should mean something to you. Your word should mean something to you, all right? And like if you start off from day one with that type of mentality and you're always going out of your way to I call it keeping your name good in these streets, then again, your reputation will precede you. When somebody is talking about you behind your back in a good way, saying, hey, this guy came to me today saying he could use help with such and such. What do you know about that guy? You want people to say good things about you. When you're trying to sell a truck, you want people to say good things about you. I wouldn't buy a truck from a guy that's not credible. I don't care about the truck. I don't care what condition I think it's in. If the guy I'm buying it from is not credible, I wouldn't do business with the guy. So definitely if you're in a local scene, if you're in an area where, like people know each other and people talk, you got to keep your credit good, but you also got to keep your credibility good.